Can I tell you the most expensive lie most of us tell ourselves? I'm pretty good with money. Not, I'm great. Not, I'm a finance genius. Just, I'm pretty good. Which translates to, I pay my bills, I haven't gone completely bankrupt, and I treat myself occasionally. That's the bar. And most of us clear it and then immediately stop thinking about money. The problem? Being pretty good with money and actually building wealth are two completely different sports. And the gap between them isn't effort. It's a handful of very specific, very common mistakes that quietly do enormous damage over years without anyone ever pointing them out. In this video, we are going through the 7 money mistakes that keep women broke, and exactly how to fix every single one of them. Not the obvious ones, not the stop buying lattes nonsense, the real ones, the sneaky ones, the ones that feel totally reasonable in the moment and cost you a fortune in the long run. Keep watching. Okay, mistake number 1, and this one is foundational. Most people confuse their salary with their wealth. They are not the same thing at all. Your salary is a tap. Your wealth is the water in the tank. The tap can be running full blast, but if the tank has holes in the bottom, you end up with nothing stored. Here's a real example. 2 women, both earning $55,000 a year. Woman A earns $55,000, spends $54,500, saves $500, invests nothing. Woman B earns $55,000, spends $48,000, invests $7,000. After 15 years, Woman A has roughly $9,000 in savings. Woman B has over $180,000 in investments. Same salary, but different approach towards money. The fix is brutally simple. Stop measuring your financial health by what you earn and start measuring it by what you keep and grow. Your net worth, total assets minus total debts, is the only number that actually tells you how you're doing. Your salary tells you how hard you're working. Your net worth tells you if it's working for you. Calculate yours this week. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just the starting line. Mistake 2 is what most people do with the money they do save, and it's costing them more than they realize. Stay with me. Mistake 2. And this one feels responsible. It feels like the right thing to do. Keeping all your savings in a regular savings account. Oh, yes, you are. Gold star. But here is the problem. Your standard savings account is paying you somewhere between 0.01% and maybe 1% interest per year. Inflation is running at roughly 3%, which means every single year, your carefully saved money is losing about 2% of its real purchasing power. You're not saving, you're losing, slowly, in a very safe-feeling way. Think of it like an ice cream. When left under the sun, it melts with time. Similarly, you are losing money because of inflation. In 10 years, the $10,000 in your bank right now will not beat the inflation and will only be able to buy you what $8,000 would buy you today. The fix isn't complicated. High-yield savings account for your emergency fund. These pay 4 to 5%, and your money is still liquid and safe. And any money you're not touching for more than 5 years, that should go into a low-cost index fund. Let it grow and compound. Saving is a habit. Investing is how that habit actually builds wealth. You need both, in the right amount. Mistake 3. It is the one where we sabotage ourselves without even knowing it. And it has nothing to do with what you spend. And this one is so relatable, it almost hurts. You get a raise. Fantastic, you deserve it. And then, without anyone making a decision, without a single conversation, your expenses quietly expand to match your new income within about 3 months. New salary, new rent, nicer restaurants, that handbag that suddenly feels reasonable, a subscription tier upgrade because you've earned it. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's sneaky because it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like enjoying your success, which is absolutely valid, but only up to a point. The math of lifestyle inflation is brutal. Okay, let's say you get a $5,000 annual raise. If you spend the whole thing on upgrading your lifestyle, you get exactly $0 more in wealth. Instead, if you invest just half of it, just about $2,500 a year, over 15 years at 7% returns, that's roughly $62,000 extra in your investment account. And that's just from one raise. The rule that actually works is every time your income goes up, your investment amount goes up by at least the same percentage. Got a 10% raise? Your monthly investment goes up 10%. Your lifestyle can grow a little, but your wealth has to grow first. You don't have to choose between enjoying your money and building wealth. You just have to do them in the right order. Now let's look at mistake number 4, something that we all tend to do. Paying only the minimum balance on a credit card. You know this is bad. Everyone kind of knows this is bad. And yet, a huge proportion of people with credit card debt pay only the minimum every single month. Because it feels manageable. Because it keeps things moving. Because the amount is small enough not to panic about. But here are the actual numbers, and I want you to sit with these for a second. Imagine you have $3,000 on a credit card that is charging 22% interest. You pay the minimum, let's say $65 a month. Have you ever thought how long would it take you to pay it off at this rate? 23 years. And the total amount you'll have paid? Over $8,700 for $3,000 of original purchases. You will have paid the credit card company almost 3 times what you spent. The fix is aggressive minimum payment destruction. Pay the minimum on everything, yes, but then throw every available extra dollar at your highest interest debt first. Not your largest debt, your highest interest debt. This is called the avalanche method, and this method helps you save the most mathematically. And of course, while you follow this method, stop adding to your debt. I know it's pretty obvious, yes, but worth saying. Mistake 5 is one I see constantly, and it's the reason a lot of people who do everything else right still feel behind. Waiting until you have more money to start investing. I'll invest properly when I have $500 a month to put in. I'll start once I've paid off my car. I'll get serious about it once things settle down a bit. Sounds familiar? Here is what's actually happening when you wait. Let's take 2 people. Person A starts investing $50 a month at age 25. That's it, $50. Less than most people spend on takeaway in a week. At 7% average annual return, by age 65, they have approximately $131,000. Person B waits until age 35 and then invests $100 a month, 2 times as much as that of person A. By age 65, they end up with about $117,000. Here's the part that lands differently. Person A invested a total of $24,000 of their own money over 40 years. Person B invested $36,000 over 30 years. Person B put in more money than person A and still ended up with lesser amount. The missing ingredient isn't money, it's time. And starting with $50 today is worth more than starting with $500 in 3 years. Every single time. Now let's move on to mistake number 6. And this one is the one nobody talks about in finance videos, because it's not really a financial mistake. It's a human one. Financial avoidance. The art of simply not looking. Not checking your bank account because you know it's going to stress you out. Leaving the credit card bill unopened on the counter for a week because you're not emotionally ready for what's in it. I get it. Money stress is real. Avoidance feels like relief. Except it isn't. It's interest. Literally. Every day you don't look at the credit card bill is a day it's quietly getting more expensive. Here is the thing about financial avoidance. The actual information is almost never as bad as what your brain imagines in the gap. The thing you're afraid to look at is almost always more manageable. The fear lives in the not knowing. The practice is simple. A 20-minute money check-in with yourself, once a week. No spreadsheets required. Just open the accounts, look at the numbers, acknowledge what's there. That's it. You don't have to fix everything in one sitting. Okay, now one mistake left. The last one. Mistake 7. And this one is specifically, statistically, disproportionately expensive for women. Not negotiating. Your salary, your rate, your fees, your interest rate, all of it. Research consistently shows women are far less likely to negotiate their starting salary than men. And this isn't a personality flaw, it's a structural thing. But the cost of staying silent is extraordinary. If you accept a starting salary that's $5,000 less than your market value, and that gap just stays, no negotiation, no correction, over a 35-year career, with typical raises applied to a smaller base, the lifetime earnings difference is estimated at over $600,000. That's huge from one conversation you didn't have. And it's not just salary. The interest rate on your mortgage, your car loan, your credit card, all of these are negotiable more often than most people realize. A 0.5% reduction on a 25-year mortgage on a $300,000 loan saves you nearly $30,000 in interest. One phone call. You don't have to be aggressive. You have to be prepared. Know your market rate. Have the data. Ask calmly. The worst answer is no, and no leaves you exactly where you are right now. So nothing to fear. You now have all 7 mistakes. Plus, you also have the 7 fixes. Not one of them requires a higher salary. Every single one is available to you right now on the income you already have. Start today. If you want more videos on how to manage your money, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you all in our next video.